Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video is a really exciting one because I share how my friend went from being broken up to married in 4 months, okay? So I did make a video about how I helped my friend manifest his ex back. I believe it's called Manifest Ex Back Success Story, which I will link in the description box below, okay? It gives details on, just what happened with that and what affirmations I gave to, help him get back together with his ex, who is his now wife. Okay, it's just so crazy how this entire thing unfolded, that too in 4 to 5 months. Okay, the breakup happened around March and then they got back together also in the same month, like around that same time, and it's July as I'm filming this and they are now happily married. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share a screenshot. Okay, so I basically saw on Facebook that he was tagged in a post saying that he got married, and I DM'd him on Instagram. I'm like, oh my gosh, you got married? Like, this is so exciting. And he's just like, yeah, I did. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Okay. Yeah. And just to recap a little bit of what happened, again, I do recommend you watch that video just so you have a little bit more information on what happened. And for a lot of you, I know, this kind of stuff is relatable. You've might have gone through a period of deleting or blocking on social media, or whatever other circumstances got in the way. I feel like this will help motivate anyone that's just trying to get the love of their life and be in the relationship of their dreams, manifest a specific person. Okay, so I do recommend you check that out. But just to recap, they broke up. I didn't really ask why, or I didn't get too much into that. He just said we broke up, and he's just like, this always happens, we kind of always break up. So they had an on and off type of relationship. They never broke up for too long from what I noticed, but this time it's for real. They tied the knot. Okay, but he told me that he deleted all the pictures, they blocked each other on social media, and he's just like, oh, this time it's over for good. And he was just devastated. He was just really sad. And I told him to do affirmations that focused on revising the breakup in the first place. I told him to say things like, we've always been in a happy, healthy, committed relationship. I didn't tell him to say this, but I told him to assume that they just never broke up. You can say that, you can affirm that as well. But I told him to say things like, I always feel secure within my relationships. Okay, I especially told him that if you want stability from someone else, you have to give that to yourself. So I told him to do self-concept affirmations like, I always feel whole, secure, content, stable within myself. Okay, I'm used to experiencing stability in my romantic relationships. My romantic relationships have always worked out for me really well. Okay, even just using blanket revision affirmations like, I've always experienced stability. When you say I've always, you're communicating to your subconscious mind that that's always been the case, and your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's real and what's not. So if you say things like, I've always had this, I've always had that, that thing that you might not have always had in the 3D, because 3D doesn't even matter, you will see that you have actually always had that. Okay, that was a little bit of a confusing sentence, but that's exactly what happened. Okay, when they got back together, they kind of acted like they never even broke up. Peep the screenshot here, where they're just happy 1 year. And it's even though he said they've had kind of an on and off thing, the fact that they're just 1 year, that implies that they've never been on a break. And that's literally exactly what I told him to affirm. Okay, and I told him to just focus on affirmations that have to do with having an easy love life. It's always easy and natural for me to experience happy, healthy relationships. It's always easy for me to be with my ideal partner, to have the ideal love life, to be genuinely happy. I told him to say things like, I feel holistically content in my relationship. So that undid whatever it is that they would fight about, whatever caused them to break up in the first place. Okay, and I also told him to say things like, I'm always fully loved and valued. Okay, when you're fully loved, when you're fully valued, even if you do get into a fight with your partner, they'll do whatever to keep you. They'll do whatever to fight for the relationship. And that also revises any sort of instances or circumstances where, like, you know, they might be following other people, or like there's other, you know, I don't even want to like list the circumstances, but that just implies loyalty. That implies them treating you with affection, attention, kindness, them being, you know, the ideal partner, whatever that looks like for you. But like when you're fully loved, you don't have to worry about anything else from, you know, your partner or even anyone else. Like when you're fully loved, no matter what circumstances the external world is throwing at you, you will like get your ideal relationship with your ideal person every single time. Okay, so yeah. I also want to share a couple of other affirmations that I told him to say. Like these are just a little bit more general, and I did talk about them in my How to Manifest Soulmate Love video, but I told him to say things like, my partner always brings out the best qualities in me. So again, whatever it is that they were fighting about, when someone brings out the best in you, it's like, that's like one of the best things you can have, and that like overturns any sort of, that did help them overturn any sort of disagreements that they were having. There were a couple of other circumstances, like them being from a different culture, so I told him to just assume that everyone is supportive of your relationship. I told him to just assume that, like, you know, my parents are accepting of this relationship. Just think differently of different people, like think differently of you know, the people that might at times have been hindering your relationship. Like for example, if you have strict parents, just assume that they're not strict. I know like that sounds like so obvious and easy, but that is how it should be. It should be very easy. So I just told him to say that, you know, we're together no matter what. Like I cannot stress how powerful those words are, no matter what. Okay, that will eliminate any circumstance, anything that has been hindering this connection, or hindering your manifestations from coming true. And that's exactly what happened. His parents were accepting of the relationship, and like, you know, they got married, and like I believe like they're on their honeymoon. I literally just saw their Instagram story before making this video, and that reminded me like I have to share this with you, okay? So this stuff really works. And then I also told him to say things like, my partner is my biggest supporter. Again, just saying like general affirmations that have to do with like, that imply that you are in a really good relationship. It definitely helps bring about that relationship in your reality. Okay, and then I always feel safe and secure in my relationships, or I always feel safe and secure in my romantic relationships. And you know, saying things like, I always feel you know, I'm always secure, I'm always happy, I'm always, you know, content within myself. When you give that to yourself, you know, your partner will give that too. The entire world will give that too. So I told him to say things along the lines of that, okay? And I told him to say things like, my partner always matches my energy, then we're able to get over any disagreements, okay? Because they did have certain things that, you know, they would disagree about, which told me that, like, you know, they loved each other so much, but their communication needed a little bit of work. So I told him to say things like, my partner and I are able to communicate really effectively, okay? We're able to truly understand each other, and, you know, come to some sort of like reconciliation, or come to some sort of agreement. Like we always make it no matter what, okay? You can even just say that as an affirmation, like, we're always together no matter what. We're in a happy, healthy, committed relationship. You know, everything just always works out in our favor. Like if you don't want to say like negative affirmations, like we never have any fights, or like the things that have to say or affirmations where you say things like never or no, which by the way, you can say those. I used to think that like, oh, you shouldn't be saying that, you should only be saying like positive affirmations. But you know, if you don't want to say that, you can just like think about like, you know, what the opposite of that would be. So at times they did have fights, which caused them to break up in the first place. So I told him to say things like, my partner and I always come to an agreement, okay? Our communication is stellar, we truly understand each other, we always make it, we just always end up making it because we're all in, okay? I know that sounds like so cheesy, but like, I mean, it works, okay? And it definitely worked for him. They're literally married, okay? Like they went from being broken up to tying the knot in 5 months. Okay, that's something I still like cannot get over, like how fast that happened. Like things do happen that fast, but to actually see it happen to someone, you know, that you help, someone that you know, like that's just like all the more motivating. And you know, this really helped. I just want you to take this story as a sign that you can manifest anything super fast. You don't have to like spend months after months, you know, manifesting just for contact, okay? I mean, he was able to manifest a full-on commitment in like less than half a year, okay? And you know, sharing stories helps. Like the reason why I even share stories like this in the first place is because it helps you restore your confidence in your own manifestation abilities. Okay, like seeing other people's success should be a sign that that's going to happen to you next. So congratulations, if you are trying to manifest someone and you're watching this video, this is a sign that you are next. Okay, this is a sign that your affirmations have been paying off. Okay, consider this a birds before land, which basically means that, you know, it's going to happen to you next. Okay, this also helped me like reinforce my faith and confidence in my manifestation abilities as well, because I'm just like, you know what, like this is so cool, like this can happen so fast, this can happen instantly. Obviously my affirmations are working. Okay, and I want you to understand that, like, you know, if any of, you know, like whatever you're doing, it's always working for you. Okay, if any of you are, you know, struggling right now, like let this be a confidence boost for you as well. Okay, let this be an example that, like, hey, if this can happen for other people, this can happen for you. And that's something that I tell myself all the time, and I told him to say that as well. Okay, I told him, like, listen, manifestation is real. You have manifested things in your life, because this guy's brilliant. Like, he's an engineer, he's really smart. Okay, so I feel like he was really open to this idea, and you know, he, like, at times, like, he didn't really believe his affirmations. He's just like, you know, I don't even know if I believe that. He was coming from a state where, like, you know, he was just devastated. I mean, like, they blocked each other, they he deleted all the pictures, and I said, like, listen, just have faith. Okay, like, little bit of an engineering like sort of metaphor, because I actually met him in college. He was my friend in college. He was like one of my colleagues, and like, yeah, we both studied computer science engineering. And I told him, like, you know, in engineering, you just keep finding whatever solution and fixes you can to fix the bug. And like, none of us, like, in the beginning think like, oh, we're gonna fix the bug. Like, even if you don't have confidence in that, like, it somehow ends up being fixed. Somehow, some way, things just always end up working out. And I gave him that example, and he's just like, yeah, you know what, I fixed so many bugs. Like, I can fix this. Okay, like, I can fix whatever's going on in my life. Because yeah, those bugs, I mean, let me tell you, they get really complicated. But yeah, for you fellow engineering majors, okay, if you know what I'm saying, like, you know exactly what I mean. And my point is, like, circumstances don't matter. Okay, like, obstacles, all of that, they can be overturned, like, with the snap of a finger. Things can definitely change overnight. Okay, you can find that solution. Just something will just click for you. Okay, at like the randomest times. Okay, and that's kind of like what happened with him. Like, he this is so funny, but like a little bit of a background story. Like, he's the type of person that like would get these bug fixes like in the shower. Like, randomly, he'd just be like, oh my gosh, that totally clicked for me. And this manifestation stuff really clicked for him as well. Okay, so sometimes, you know, the point of me telling that story is find a moment where you succeeded at something and use that as an anchor. Use that as an anchor to help you receive your manifestation. And for him, I told him to use that bug story as an anchor. Like, he's solved a lot of bugs. I'm just like, you know what, if you can solve like such like complex engineering problems, like, you know, you can get your ex back, you can live out your best love life. And yeah, so many books. Okay, I believe like so many books. I forgot what the name of this was, but a lot of books basically tell, oh yeah, okay, yeah, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind and Psycho-Cybernetics. You know, both those books talk about how to reinforce your faith in manifestation, you should think of an instance where you were successful at manifesting, even if it's something small, like finding your keys, okay, or like manifesting a free cup of coffee. Okay, when you get into that like mindset of success, you will start automatically thinking those thoughts of like, you know, success, like, hey, if I manifested this, I can do that. Okay, and yeah, you'll just build that momentum, and you'll be able to manifest what you want like sooner than you know it. Okay, yeah, that's also something I told him to do. Okay, so this definitely helps. If you have a hard time believing in like manifestation, or believing that you're gonna get that thing because the circumstances are just showing you otherwise, I mean, consider this as a story. Consider the story as a proof that like, that's okay, that doesn't matter, you don't have to believe in anything. Okay, you can get exactly what you want, as long as you just put in the work, as long as you just create the intention that like, hey, I'm gonna get what I want. Okay, I deserve to get what I want, I'm worthy of getting exactly what I want. Okay, it's really about the intent. And once you know, you can do that, and once you stay consistent, once you persist, you will get that. And I have talked about this in a couple of my other videos, but You can also just create the belief that it's easy for you to manifest, okay? But like Sammy Ingram said, and I do want to credit her for this because when she said this, things just clicked in my mind. But she basically said that, you know, you don't need to do a lot of work. You don't need to put in a lot of effort to manifest. You can just create the belief that things manifest for you really fast. But to create that belief, yeah, there might be a little bit of work needed, a little bit of like, you know, consistency, a little bit of, you know, affirmations, visualizing, scripting, you know, whatever it is that you do to create the belief that you manifest fast. But once you have that belief, like that will stick with you forever, okay? Like as long as you like believe in that belief, or even just like affirm for that belief if you don't even believe in that belief. Okay, that got a little bit confusing, but hopefully, you know, that did make sense. Okay, and yeah, for him, like for my friend, he wasn't necessarily on a time crunch. Things just happened for him really fast because he let go of the neediness, he let go of the desperation. Like obviously he was really sad that you know, they broke up, which is normal. Like you're humans, you're allowed to feel sad, you know, you're allowed to want company, you're allowed to want the person that you want. Okay, you're allowed to want love. But I told him to do all these self-concept affirmations. I told him to, like, you know, just fix his self-concept when it comes to relationships. Okay, that's really the key here. Whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, you have to or you don't have to, but like it does really help to fix your self-concept in that area specifically. Like my friend, he's an engineer, he's really smart, he's financially stable, he's in a really good job, he never really had that much trouble manifesting material success, you know, manifesting money. It was literally just love that at times, you know, held him back. And I told him to just, you know, fix his assumptions when it comes to love, fix his assumptions about relationships in general, fix his assumptions about the relationship that he was in, you know, by saying things like, I've always been in a happy, healthy, romantic relationship with my partner. It's easy for me to be in my ideal relationship. It's easy for me to live a very holistically fulfilling love life, okay? I also told him to focus on that, like the word holistic fulfillment, okay? Because when you are fulfilled within yourself, or when you give yourself that energy, when you redirect that energy back to yourself, the person that you want to do that will do the same. The entire universe will do the same, okay? So if you want stability from someone else, it really, really does help to give that to yourself, and that's exactly what he ended up doing. And yeah, like they're happily married. Like I can't stop like saying that, like they're happily married. Like this happened so fast. Okay, yeah. And let me go ahead and read a couple more affirmations that, you know, I would really recommend for you to read if you are kind of or to affirm if you are, you know, feeling a little bit stuck or stagnant in your manifestations. First of all, you should say things like, I'm in my most abundant timeline. When you're in your most abundant timeline, what happens is that you'll start noticing other successful things happening, okay, other manifestation successes, other things really happening for you that will help boost your faith in your manifestation abilities, that will help reinforce your confidence in your manifestation skills. Okay, so that will definitely help. And you know, just saying self-concept affirmations like, I'm always fully respected and loved. When you give yourself that respect, everyone else will do the same. Okay, because like I told you, my friend, there were some circumstances around getting parental approval to marry someone outside of his culture. Okay, so that was a little bit of a hindrance. And I told him to just say things like, I'm fully respected. People always support me. Okay, no matter what, I always feel supported. I always feel so loved, valued, supported. And he was able to change his parents' mind. Like his parents were just like, yeah, you know what? Like, yeah, you should be happy. You should be able to be with whoever you want to be with. And I know I do get some clients. I do see a lot of stories about like how, you know, that is a major circumstance. Like, you know, marrying someone outside of your race or someone that, you know, your family might not approve of. All you have to do is assume differently. Just assume that they do approve of that. Assume that, you know, they want the absolute best for you, that they respect your wishes, that they respect you. Because when you're fully respected, you know, people will support you. When, you know, you respect yourself, when you support yourself, everyone will reflect that back to you. And that's exactly what ended up happening for my friend. And then yeah, last one is, I've always experienced security in my relationships, or I've always experienced security in my romantic relationships. You know, I feel so good and secure and whole and content within myself, which can, you know, really help get rid of any sort of resistance when it comes to manifesting, you know, a specific person or just a relationship in general. Because a lot of that resistance at times, it is caused by past experiences or negative feelings associated with past experiences that you might have had. Like, for example, some people, you know, they're scared that their partner is gonna like leave them or whatever, and that's kind of a manifestation, or just a reflection of their abandonment wounds. So, you know, just fixing that, just saying things like, you know what, no, I've always felt secure in my relationships. You know, I feel so secure within myself. Like, I'm amazing. Why would anyone want to leave me? I'm like, you know, the best this person has ever had. Like, I am the prize. I'm on the pedestal, and, you know, this person meets me. They're just saying things like that. You know, hyping yourself up in that sense will help eliminate any sort of circumstances or any sort of negative feelings associated with you know, events in the past that might have happened, that might have you know, caused you to have any sort of like trust issues or abandonment issues or whatever the case may be. Okay, so that concludes this video. I really hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions surrounding manifestation. I will try to answer them in the comments. If you do want personalized advice that is you know, specific to your situation, check out the description box below where you can sign up for one-on-one manifestation coaching. I offer manifestation phone call coaching as well as messaging coaching, so whichever one fits you the best. I also do in-depth video tarot readings just to see where you are within your manifestation, and I also custom make Subliminal. So if these are of interest to you, check out the description box below where you can sign up for that. And yeah, I will see you all next time.